2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Monday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And quite a picture behind us here. What a day you had yesterday, huh?
Yes, a little sore, Bill and I. First time in the maybe 2.5 years we were working together, finally hiked together. It took me to Snowy Mountain.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, no snow on Snowy Mountain, but
beautiful out there.
Quite a view up there. And again, I'm feeling it now. My leg's a little bit stiff, so bear with me if I'm slow moving today, but it was a very enjoyable hike. Now let's turn to the forecast. Well, we're talking about quiet conditions to start out the day today. Temperatures in the 60s, 59 in Hamilton, and a live look at Oneonta. Yet again, with the conditions right now, we do have some patchy fog that we're dealing with, but some locations are looking at clear skies early this morning. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Again, we're looking at quiet conditions for most of the region right now, but that will change as we head into this afternoon, as there is a chance of a few scattered showers and storms arriving, and one or two of them could be on the stronger side. So we'll talk a bit more about that. Plus, on top of the coverage we'll be showing in just a few seconds, additional information about tropical storm, eventually Hurricane Debbie, moving into the Gulf Coast in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And as Eric mentioned, Hurricane Debbie is now headed toward Florida. Forecasters with the National Hurricane Center say the storm had maximum sustained winds overnight of 75 miles per hour, making it a Category 1 storm. Debbie will then hit Georgia and the Carolinas after Florida. Debbie is the fourth named storm of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. The Federal Emergency Management Agency announced on Sunday that President Biden has already approved an emergency declaration for Florida. New this morning, passengers filled Beirut's international airport on Sunday as tensions escalate in the Middle East. According to France and Italy's foreign ministries, travel advisories were issued yesterday urging their citizens in Lebanon to leave the country due to the risk of military escalation. Tensions have escalated after the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran last Wednesday. That came a day after an Israeli strike in Beirut killed Fawad Shakur, a senior military commander of Hezbollah. The U.S. and U.K. have already urged their citizens to leave by any means possible. Airlines are avoiding Iranian and Lebanese airspace and canceling flights to Israel and Lebanon as concerns grow over a possible regional conflict. And to a developing story now, nearly 100 people have been killed and
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. Welcome back. The time now is 5:14, and we're getting you set out of the door on this Munson CommuteCast. First off, a live look at the traffic camera overlooking the arterial in downtown Utica. We, of course, can see those clear skies out in the distance. A quiet start. Some locations seeing some patchy fog, primarily in the southern valleys. And taking a look at our traffic tracker early today, no incidents to report of, but I want to zoom in on an area that will be seeing some traffic alerts, especially between Military Road and Route 365 near the town of Ohio, north of Poland. There could be lane closures in both directions with flaggers due to punch list work. So just a heads up, if you're heading along Route 8 in between those areas, that you might encounter a lane closure here and there. But again, that's what we're tracking right now. Throughout the day today, again, dry start, but we'll start to see a few scattered showers and storms arrive by the afternoon. We'll talk a bit more about those chances coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The first ever Nescentia Health Jazz Festival is held on Sunday at the Beaches Manor over in Rome.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good Monday morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I know for me, I was very busy, and again, I'm still feeling that hike early today. But before we get to the forecast here locally, I want to take a quick look at Hurricane Debbie and where it's headed. As you can see here, it's a Category 1 hurricane eventually making landfall right along that the panhandle heading closer to northwestern Florida. Wind speed at 80 miles per hour, and it's moving northeast at 10 miles per hour. Now, the thing with this system has been producing a lot of rain. Flooding has been the main thing, not so much strong winds. And notice it goes right along the coast of South Carolina and then stalls. So again, they're talking about lots of rainfall for the coast of South Carolina. If you know any friends and family down there, just give them a heads up to take a look at the local weather forecasts in the Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina regions. In downtown Utica right now, thankfully nothing in terms of active weather currently, but that might change as we head into this afternoon. Temperature is 62, humidity on the rise again this afternoon. But quiet in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Heading into this evening, we are at a slight risk for strong storms, level 2 out of 5, indicating that we could see some storms producing some hail as well as some gusty winds. But this all depends on how the clouds behave. If we see a little bit more cloud cover this afternoon, there's not a lot of instability for these storms to work with. However, there's a lot more sunshine. These storms have the potential of turning severe. So again, if you want to stay weather aware, you can download the app right there below me. You can scan it with your phone. It'll send you warning notifications as well as nearby lightning strikes and downpours. But again, dry start, rain chances increase this afternoon and primarily this evening, late this evening. Then rain chances diminish until roughly late Tuesday for a last bit of rain arrives. But even though the rain does continue Tuesday night, we're looking to see completely low humidity for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, our last day of tropical-like weather. So those of you who are itching for refreshing air, well, the good news is it arrives as early as tomorrow. But to our skycast, again, dry start, patchy fog, then here comes those clouds and a few scattered showers. The initial round could dampen some of the severe weather potential, but if those rain showers likely fizzle out, we'll see the potential for some stronger storms roughly between 4 and 6 p.m. moving through the area right here, lingering in some spots a little later, and then lingering spotty showers overnight. Dry to start Tuesday, and then again by Tuesday evening and Tuesday night, clouds and maybe a light passing shower, but that's really about it. And then we'll start out cool for Wednesday, temperatures in the 40s, into the mid to upper 70s with low humidity. A beautiful day expected by midweek. And so your 7-day forecast following today, again, we'll see rain chances diminish Tuesday. Beautiful weather moves in Wednesday and Thursday. Highs in the upper 70s with very low humidity. And then we'll see rain chances and showers return as we head into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday later on this week. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:24. Still ahead on Sunrise, the U.S.
2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Boy, this heat just does not want to let go.
Yeah, the heat and the humidity all weekend long. Thankfully, for a lot of spots, the rain held off. Some locations a bit less unlucky, but this morning we're starting out dry once more. Still a little humid out. Temperatures in the 60s. In fact, looking across the area, 69 out in Syracuse, 59 down in Hamilton. So we are starting out relatively mild, but a little foggy as we take a live look at Oneonta right now. City of the Hills, I would say more so City of the Fog, at least for the past several months. It's been a very foggy start for Oneonta. Almost every morning we've had those higher dew points. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Temperatures looking mild and conditions looking dry. But that will change as we head into this afternoon as a few scattered showers and storms roll through. And some of them could be on the stronger side depending on cloud cover. So we'll talk a bit more about those showers and storms coming up in just a few minutes. Plus, when we could see some relief in that humidity in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Hurricane Debbie has already caused delays and cancellations for travelers Debbie is expected to continue to strengthen rapidly before making a landfall later today in the Big Bend region of northwest Florida. Weather conditions have left dozens of airline passengers stranded, and for those headed to New York, most people have been told they can't leave until Tuesday. Travelers stuck at Miami International Airport on Sunday expressed their frustrations over facing multiple delays and cancellations.
My flight got canceled, so I had to wait in line for 4 hours to get a new flight.
We've been queuing for 6 hours, and we were sent to the hotel. I'm back to see what I can do.
It's frustrating, it's sad, it's just unbelievable.
Travelers are urged to confirm their flight status with their airline before heading to the airport. Also today, Vice President Kamala Harris getting closer to announcing who will there.
Join Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
This on that Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, as you can see.
Meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Severe weather all
Meteorologist Jill Reel.
The conditions in place right now. You can
Meteorologist Eric Gage. To get instant updates on floods, storms, and tornadoes. News Channel 2 Storm Tracker, tracking storms minute by minute to keep your family safe.
The WKTV.
Good morning and welcome back. We are starting out with a look at our photo of the day, and this one was taken in the town of Oneida, and this one was properly named Yellowfellow. We got a yellow or a golden finch here. Great photo right there. If you want to submit a photo like this one, send the link right there on top of your screen at WKTV.com/weather/pics. A big thank you to Kimberly for this submission. If you would like to submit, again, photos like this bird here, a sunset, a rainbow, a storm cloud, scenery, anything that's weather related or maybe not so weather related, but it shows the beauty of us here in central New York. You can, of course, submit it. Most submissions are welcome. Now, this morning, temperatures are starting out in the 60s. 64 Whitesboro, already at 67 in Hessville, but 59, a little cooler down in Cooperstown. We warm up a little bit more, but we're going to be keeping an eye on the radar this afternoon with the potential for scattered showers and storms. We'll talk a bit more about that in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. It has been one of the hottest summers on record for most of the U.S. and
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Hope everyone had a great weekend. The weather cooperated for the most part. Some locations, unfortunately, did see a few spotty storms, but taking a look at what's going on in the Gulf Coast area, primarily Florida. Hurricane Debbie, once Tropical Storm Debbie, now Category 1 with wind speeds of around 80 miles per hour, moving north-northeast at 10 miles per hour. We're going to keep a close eye on this one. This one will be hugging the Atlantic coast, going through Georgia into South Carolina, then stalling, and then moving a bit, or at least stalling continuously over the South Carolina coast, and then lingering along the coast for a little bit longer. But while we'll keep an eye on the hurricane, for now we'll take a look at much more in terms of quiet weather here in the downtown Utica area, central New York region. Currently sitting at 62 with calm winds, humid conditions, and the humidity will still remain pretty high for today. Radar is quiet early this morning, but as we head into this afternoon, we could see a few in terms of stronger storms roll through. Level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather, meaning that it's not extremely high, but it's notable enough with the potential for some hail as well as some strong, potentially damaging winds embedded in some of these storms. They don't look to be widespread as of now. These storms look to be isolated and firing up at random along that eventual cold front moving through later on today. And that cold front, besides potential for some stronger wind gusts and hail, could produce some local heavy rainfall. And this will continue into the overnight. Then come to an end by Tuesday morning. And with the end of the rainfall, at least for the most part, still another chance later on Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. This will bring a drop in the humidity. Tropical levels of humidity down to very comfortable levels by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think after, I would say maybe a week or so straight of high humidity, this will be more than welcome here locally. And to our Skycast, well, again, to start out today, it's looking quiet and dry. Then by this afternoon, we could see a few scattered showers. These won't be as strong as potentially what we'll be expecting this evening, but if the showers roll through, plenty of clouds move in, this will dampen the severity of some of these storms. But if we remain dry and sunny, that looks to increase the chances for severe weather. But again, just make sure you're weather aware for today. As these storms roll through, things will quiet down, and then severe weather risk is over by tonight. And so your 7-day forecast, we've got some lingering spotty rain Tuesday night, if that. Then we dry out Wednesday and Thursday with plenty of sunshine, low humidity. That's the most important part, and temperatures in the upper 70s. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Hurricane Debbie is expected to hit Florida today, and this morning, researchers are using new technology to track this storm and others like it. Preeta Sridhar has more for us this morning.
This is the beginning of a long journey into the eye of the storm.
So we're getting ready to deploy.
This cutting-edge tool, called a sail drone, is 23 feet long, packed with cameras and sensors, and it's changing how scientists track hurricanes.
I think with the changing climate and the intensification of these hurricanes and storms, it's critical that we better understand them.
The drones can withstand powerful winds, even 50-foot waves, giving scientists a view of hurricanes they've never seen before. This is video from a sail drone in 2021, in the middle of Hurricane Sam, as winds whipped over 100 miles per hour. But first, it has to be released into the ocean.
So we just left St. Petersburg, Florida, and this towboat is towing the sail drone into the Gulf of Mexico. Its ultimate destination will be determined by mission control managers back in San Francisco.
It will send data back in real time, like wind speed, wave height, and ocean temperature, to help scientists better understand how hurricanes strengthen.
So it's all building up to improving forecasts, improving predictions to help give people more preparation and more lead time warnings.
So we just passed the Skyway Bridge, and we're about 3 more miles until we're in the Gulf of Mexico, closer to the point where we're going to be deploying the sail drone.
This drone and 11 others like it deploy from hurricane zones like here in Florida, the Virgin Islands, and North Carolina. Sail drone mission managers are back in San Francisco controlling them and working with their partners at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to redirect them to chase the storms.
We made it to the Gulf of Mexico, the final deployment site for the sail drone. It's going to go out to sea for about 3 months and come back to St. Petersburg, Florida in November.
We are ready to deploy.
This sail drone now starting its mission.
Are you hoping that information that's collected from things like these sail drones can actually potentially save lives?
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal. We want to save lives, protect property.
The drone now on its own, ready to sail into the future of storm prediction. Preeta Sridhar, NBC News on the Gulf of Mexico.
News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Monday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Straight off your trek up north, right?
Yes, Bill and I went to go visit Snowy Mountain, one of the fire tower mountains up in Hamilton County. Did not expect it to be that long of a hike. I'm a little sore. My leg's a bit stiff, so I'm slow moving this morning, so bear with me. But surprisingly, it's the first time since Bill and I started working together we actually hiked together.
I know he likes to do that a lot.
Oh, yeah, and keep in mind, he was doing it like it was nothing. We first brought Sky with us. Sky was dragging us up the mountain,
dog,
too.
yeah.
She was fantastic. But me, I had to take a few breaks. long hike. But the weather this morning, we're starting out quiet and dry with temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s. 62 Rome, 59 Hamilton, 64 down in Binghamton. In Oneonta, well, we got some fog in the right over the top of Hartwick College right there. And the fog will continue to diminish as we approach the mid-morning hours. But you notice here, most of the area actually pretty quiet and dry on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Next 12 hours favor sunshine turning to clouds, and then clouds turning to scattered showers and storms. And a couple of these could be on the stronger side. We'll talk about the strength potential of these, as well as the eventual relief in that humidity in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Hurricane Debbie is heading toward Florida and expected landfall later today. Forecasters with the National Hurricane Center say the storm had maximum sustained winds overnight of 75 miles per hour. Debbie will then hit Georgia and the Carolinas. She is the fourth named storm of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. The Federal Emergency Management Agency announced on Sunday that President Biden has already approved an emergency declaration for Florida. New this morning, passengers filled Beirut's international airport on Sunday as tensions escalate in the Middle East. According to France and Italy's foreign ministries, travel advisories were issued yesterday urging their citizens in Lebanon to leave the country due to the risk of military escalation. Tensions have escalated after the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran last Wednesday. That came a day after an Israeli strike in Beirut killed Fawad Shakur, a senior military commander of Hezbollah. The U.S. and U.K. have already urged their citizens to leave by any means possible. Airlines are avoiding Iranian and Lebanese airspace and canceling flights to Israel and Lebanon as concerns grow over a possible regional conflict. Now to a developing story.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning and welcome back. The time now is 6:12 and we're getting you set to head out the door this morning on the Munson Commute Cast. First off, a live look at the arterial zooming out along the high mast camera. Looking out to the eastern sky, you can see the sunrise in the distance, clear skies, still potentially some fog forming along the river areas in the valley locations, not only here in Utica, but also primarily in the southern valleys. But let's take a closer look at the arterial right now. Let's zoom in. As you can see here, traffic starting to pick up once more. But again, it's a dry start to your day, so we're not looking at anything in terms of major travel impacts. Again, aside from patchy fog. Traffic tracker early this morning, everything looking quiet, no incidents to report of, but again, there is some other traffic alerts will pass along. This one, of course, being Route 8 between Military Road and Route 365 up near Ohio. There is potentially lane closures in place for both directions due to punch list work. So again, a heads up here. If you want a full list of the road work being done across the area, you can head to our website, WKTV.com. We have it for all of the local counties here in central New York. But again, today, it's a dry start. We're tracking some scattered showers and storms. We'll talk about those storms in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The first ever Nescentia Health Jab.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good Monday morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a great weekend. The weather cooperated for the most part. Still a bit muggy, and there were still a few spotty showers and storms here and there. But before we get to the forecast for today and this week, I want to do a quick look at Hurricane Debbie, where it is and where is it headed. Well, here's a look at it right now. Category 1 hurricane set to make landfall right along the Panhandle location somewhat. Around 80 mile per hour winds, and it's moving north-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Now, this system, the concerning part of it is going to be the rainfall potential. It's moving very slow. Winds not too much of a concern, but look at how slow it stalls right off the coast of South Carolina. Some locations here could see as high as 15 inches of rain, maybe even more. There is flooding concerns all along the coast here. And so if you know any friends and family, not only in the Florida area, but also Georgia, South Carolina, maybe eclipsing parts of North Carolina, but still that's just along the fringes. make sure they are following local news and local weather for any updates on the path of that system, because this could produce a pretty bad flooding situation based off of the signal of that where the hurricane's headed. But here locally, downtown Utica, quiet and dry. We're not tracking any hurricanes here locally. Temperature 62 and sunny. Dew point is 60, so the humidity is still pretty high. And a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Things are quiet for now, but that'll change by this afternoon as we could see a few scattered showers and storms that could be on the stronger side. Notice here, level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather today. Main concerns being potential for some hail, as well as strong, potentially damaging winds. But you notice here the levels around in the yellow category, 15% risk. So it's not high, but it's still there. So make sure you're weather aware today. Down the app right there below me, you can scan it with your phone. It'll send you notifications of weather alerts such as warnings, as well as nearby lightning strikes and downpours. Great for if you're out and about and you're not watching the TV at noontime or whenever we do have warnings issued. You can see here rain chances increasing throughout this afternoon and this evening. Best shot after 6 p.m. onwards. And then rain chances gradually diminish as we head into the early morning Tuesday. Dry start, maybe a light passing shower late Tuesday night, but the rainfall signal for this is a lot less significant compared to the one for today. But the one important thing is, following the rain showers today, this cold front will move through and that high humidity will whisk away. We're down to very comfortable levels Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday. And so in our Skycast, again, dry start, patchy fog. Here comes some of these rain showers moving through. Best shot again this afternoon, right around 6 or so p.m. With these downpours, as well as some thunderstorms as well. Just a heads up that these could potentially be on the stronger side. All dependent, though, on how much cloud cover we see today. More clouds, less strong storms, less clouds, more strong storms. But regardless, following the rain today, we'll see a lot more of sunshine, upper 70s, but the main thing, low humidity. Wednesday, Thursday, rain chances starting to arrive Friday, and then we're back to a somewhat rainy pattern by next weekend. Gary?
Eric, thanks. It has been one of the hottest summers on record for most.
With Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And boy, it seems like this has been the hottest summer that I can ever remember.
It's been very warm. Yes, you're right. And I think that most of us assume hot summers with record-setting temperatures are really... It hasn't really been those record highs. It's been the consistent warmth and humidity that's made this summer very warm, at least a lot more notable compared to other summers. And with all that humidity in the air, too, it's made a place like Oneonta see a whole lot more in terms of fog. This is the, as I mentioned in the past hour, Gary, city of the fog instead of city of the hills. It's been such a foggy time here in Oneonta early, at least for most of this summer in the mornings. You can take a live look at Hartwick College. You can barely see the outline of the buildings right there in the distance. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are seeing some green in the radar, but it's not indicating rain at this point. But that will change as we head into this afternoon, as sunshine gives way to clouds and clouds give way to some scattered showers and storms. And a couple of them could be on the stronger side. So we'll, of course, provide the latest details on storm strength potential as we head into this evening, plus updates not only on the humidity for the next few days, but also some more details on Hurricane Debbie. Not only that, well, I'll be mentioning in my full forecast, but of course, Gary will be mentioning right after this. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Well, as you just mentioned, Hurricane Debbie already causing delays and cancellations for travelers. Debbie is expected to make landfall here in the next hour along the northwest coast of Florida. Weather conditions have left dozens of airline passengers, even more than that, stranded. And for those heading to New York, most people have been told they can't leave until Tuesday. Travelers stuck at Miami International Airport on Sunday expressed their frustrations over the delays and cancellations.
My flight got canceled, so I had to wait in line for 4 hours to get a new flight.
We've been queuing for 6 hours, and we were sent to the hotel. I'm back to see what I can do.
It's frustrating, it's sad, it's just unbelievable.
And travelers are urged to confirm their flight status with their airline before heading to the airport. Also this morning, Vice President Kamala.
Welcome back on this Monday morning. As we take a look at our photo of the day this morning, this one is one of my favorites. Of course, all of these are my favorites, but this one being the golden finch taken in Oneida, nicknamed the Yellow Fellow, properly named, of course, by Kimberly. Amazing photo right here. I love the close-up shots of birds, of any of the small or even large animals we see here all across central New York. If you would like to submit a photo like this one, you can send the link right there on the top of your screen, WKTV.com/weather/pics. We're always looking for any type of photo, whether it be a sunset, a rainbow, a storm cloud, a bird photo, a deer photo, anything that showcases the beauty of our local area here in central New York. You're more than welcome to submit it, and of course, include your name, as we always wish to give you guys the credit you deserve. This morning, temperatures in the 60s, 63 in Whitesboro, 60 in Little Falls, even 62 up in Lake Pleasant. And we'll warm up into the 80s this afternoon, but the dry weather eventually turns a bit more unsettled. We'll talk about those rain and storm chances in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. This week, American Legion Smith Post 20.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a great weekend. The weather, for the most part, although a bit muggy, was relatively dry, only a few spotty storms. But today, a dry start will turn a bit more stormy by the afternoon. Before we get to that, let's take a look in the tropics. Well, less so the tropics, more so the Gulf near Florida, where Hurricane Debbie, which is currently a Category 1, is producing lots of rainfall on the western coast of Florida near the Panhandle. And this is going to weaken into a tropical storm as it moves through Georgia and then remains stationary right along the coast of South Carolina. If you have friends and family in the Panhandle area of Florida, Georgia, and primarily the coast of South Carolina, just a heads up, make sure they're following local news outlets and local weather alerts for anything regarding flooding. This could produce as high as 15 inches of rainfall with that system. Again, wind not the primary concern, sustained heavy rainfall the main one. But here locally, we actually have plenty of blue skies. Start out your day today, a dry start, temperatures in the 60s. It's still a bit humid out, and humidity will be on the rise yet again this afternoon, but we'll actually see relief pretty soon. Radar is quiet and dry here locally. Just some interference there, that light green. But as we head into this afternoon, this evening, we do have a slight risk, level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather in the yellow zone right here, pretty much all of central New York. And the main concerns with this will be the firing up of a few storms ahead of a cold front that could produce some hail, some stronger, potentially damaging wind gusts, and some local heavy rainfall. But these storms are not looking to be completely widespread. Just a few of them had the potential of turning severe. Just one of those days where you want to keep that weather app handy, that Storm Tracker 2 weather app handy. Well, of course, you have weather warnings as well as nearby downpour and lightning strike notifications sent directly to your phone. Looking at our chance of rain, well, we got rain chances increasing throughout the afternoon and eventually this evening. And then the rain chances taper off by tomorrow morning, return a little bit with the slight chance of a shower Tuesday evening. But the one thing will be the low humidity. Following today, comfortable levels of humidity Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. More than welcome here in central New York after a very warm and humid week. But our SkyCast quick, again, dry start, chance of an afternoon light shower, but the main focus will be on the evening. If these storms do turn severe, they could again produce some stronger wind gusts, hail, and then the typical sort of some locally heavy rainfall. But these pass, and the severe weather risk is diminished by tonight. And so your 7-day forecast, following this cold front tonight, we got a spotty shower late Tuesday, but The main thing will be the sunshine, 70s, and low humidity for Wednesday and Thursday. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Hurricane Debbie is about to hit the Florida coast within the next hour. And this morning, researchers are using new technology to track this storm and others like it. NBC's Priya Sridhar has more.
This is the beginning of a long journey into the eye of the storm.
So we're getting ready to deploy.
This cutting-edge tool, called a sail drone, is 23 feet long, packed with cameras and sensors, and it's changing how scientists track hurricanes.
I think with the changing climate and the intensification of these hurricanes and storms, it's critical that we better understand them.
The drones can withstand powerful winds, even 50-foot waves, giving scientists a view of hurricanes they've never seen before. This is video from a sail drone in 2021 in the middle of Hurricane Sam as winds whipped over 100 miles per hour. But first, it has to be released into the ocean.
So we just left St. Petersburg, Florida, and this towboat is towing the sail drone into the Gulf of Mexico. Its ultimate destination will be determined by mission control managers back in San Francisco.
It will send data back in real time, like wind speed, wave height, and ocean temperature, to help scientists better understand how hurricanes strengthen.
So it's all building up to improving forecasts, improving predictions to help give people more preparation and more lead time warnings.
So we just passed the Skyway Bridge, and we're about 3 more miles until we're in the Gulf of Mexico, closer to the point where we're going to be deploying the sail drone.
This drone and 11 others like it deploy from hurricane zones like here in Florida, the Virgin Islands, and North Carolina. Sail drone mission managers are back in San Francisco controlling them and working with their partners at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration to redirect them to chase the storms.
We made it to the Gulf of Mexico, the final deployment site for the sail drone. It's going to go out to sea for about 3 months and come back to St. Petersburg, Florida in November.
We are ready to deploy.
This sail drone now starting its mission.
Are you hoping that information that's collected from things like these sail drones can actually potentially save lives?
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal. We want to save lives, protect property.
The drone now on its own, ready to sail into the future of storm prediction. Priya Sridhar, NBC News on the Gulf of Mexico.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the CW11. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And on this Monday, there's a chance of some rain later today, you were mentioning.
Yes, chance of rain later on, but for now, we've got quiet weather. Look at all the sunshine here,
already
across the state. Yeah, and some mild start as well, still a little humid. Let's take a look at those temperatures a bit more local. 63 in Rome, 61 Hamilton. Already 70 degrees in Syracuse. And we'll see these mild to warm temperatures for most of this morning on top of quiet and dry conditions. However, in Oneonta and in some other locations in the southern valleys, you're waking up to some valley fog. However, of course, this will burn off as the morning continues on. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Nothing notable going on right now. And in the next 12 hours, again, sunshine to start, but then things turn a bit more unsettled as a cold front moves through. Temperatures climbing into the mid-80s, and then we'll see a few scattered showers and storms. We'll talk about the strength of those storms, plus the exact timing, and then when things quiet down in that forecast in the minutes ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Hurricane Debbie is about to hit Florida any minute. Forecasters with the National Hurricane Center say the storm had maximum sustained winds overnight of 75 miles per hour. After Florida, Debbie will then hit Georgia and the Carolinas. It is the 4th named storm of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, announced on Sunday that President Biden has already approved an emergency declaration for Florida. Passengers filled Beirut's international airport on Sunday as tensions escalate in the Middle East. According to France and Italy's foreign ministries, travel advisories were issued yesterday, urging their citizens in Lebanon to leave the country as soon as possible due to the risk of military escalation. Tensions have escalated after the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran last Wednesday, and that came a day after an Israeli strike in Beirut killed Fawad Shakur, a senior military commander of Hezbollah. The U.S. and U.K. have already urged their citizens to leave by any means possible. Airlines are avoiding Iranian and Lebanese airspace and canceling flights to Israel and Lebanon as concerns grow over a possible regional conflict. Now to a developing.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a great weekend. The weather for now starts out dry. In fact, plenty of sunshine in downtown Utica. Let's take a live look outside on our Nexus camera. Following this morning, though, weather will turn a little bit more active. We'll, of course, talk about that in just a second. As you can see here, 63 and sunny. Dew point is 61. The humidity will be on the rise as we head throughout the morning into the afternoon. But again, for now, we're dry on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. But a heads up for this afternoon, we could see a strong storm or two fire up along the line ahead of a cold front. This could produce the main concerns being some hail, stronger, potentially damaging wind gusts, and heavier downpours. But for the most part, following this afternoon, this evening, severe weather potential ends, and we'll enter a quiet stretch of weather. Regarding our chance of rain, as you can see here, dry start. Here comes those rain showers moving in. And then by around 6-7 p.m., our best shot for rain. Then the rain chances diminish by tomorrow morning. Another dry start with potentially some rain showers arriving late Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. But those showers will likely be spotty, light, nothing too major. And then we'll see dry weather move in Wednesday. But on top of that, how about this? Humidity lowering to very comfortable levels following today. And then for pretty much most of the work week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all low humidity. And so on our Skycast, here's how things will shape up today. Dry start for now. Patchy fog lifts this afternoon. We could see a passing shower, but the concern will be whether the clouds and showers this afternoon will dampen the risk for severe storms later on today. As you can see here, a few of them do fire up, not completely widespread at this point, but again, we'll keep a close eye on the radar today. And of course, you can keep the Storm Tracker 2 weather app handy for any weather alerts such as warnings or nearby downpours and lightning strikes. Following that, Tuesday starting out dry. Then by Tuesday evening, we could see a passing shower along with the clouds by Tuesday night. And then dry weather moves in Wednesday, beautiful with sunshine and low humidity. And your 7-day forecast, that low humidity sticks around for Thursday, potentially into the start of Friday before more rain chances arrive as we head into the weekend of this coming weekend, I should say. But overall, the main trend will be saying goodbye to the high humidity.
News with Gary Liberatore.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. After making landfall this morning in northwest Florida as a Category 1 hurricane, Debbie is expected to bring, get this, 20 to 30 inches of rain to some parts of Florida. NBC's Jesse Kerr starts us off today from Perry, Florida, with more on our top story on this Monday afternoon.
Debbie made landfall in the United States this morning as a Category 1 hurricane. Powerful wind gusts, storm surge as well, but what we're most concerned about as this moves inland is the pace. Debbie is going at what is a relative crawl as far as hurricanes go, and that means that there is real concern about possibly catastrophic flooding. We're looking at Florida, South Carolina, and Georgia, all three states' governors declaring states of emergency with the potential for some devastating flooding. In Florida alone, we've seen reports of more than 200,000 power outages. There are impacts on air travel as well, and this is something that is going to be going on for days, again, across multiple states. Some areas could see as much as around 30 inches of rainfall in the days ahead. Back to you.
NBC's Jesse Kirsch and meteorologist Eric Gage joining us, and boy, 20 to 30 inches is hard to even think about.
Yeah, when you have all that tropical moisture in a slow-moving system like that, it's not a common thing to happen, but with the ingredients in place, it's something that is a good possibility. And matter of fact, let's take a look at how things are shaping up with Hurricane Debbie right now. As Kirsch mentioned, it was a Category 1 at landfall, but as we looks like we are on the radar right now. I'm going to look at the radar for a second, but sorry, behind the scenes. We have rain showers moving through right now, currently on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. There are some rain showers to the north and just a spotty shower south of Syracuse, but for most of us, the rainfall activity is pretty quiet. But zooming out a little bit, we'll actually see that there are more rain showers out in western New York. Matter of fact, there's a severe thunderstorm warning just outside of Buffalo. These rain showers are what's going to be arriving later on today, and some of them could be on the stronger side. So we'll keep a close eye on those showers and storms to the west. And of course, when we have the latest information along with those wording warnings or nearby downpours, we'll keep a close eye on noon. And then, of course, any warnings will be sent directly to your phone if you have that app right at the bottom of your screen, the Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Be sure to download that for the latest information. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Our top local story this noon is quite the story.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon and welcome back. We are starting out today, well, it was a little quiet, a few rain showers moving through, but again, back to Hurricane Debbie very quickly. What I wanted to show earlier on was the path of where it's headed, plus the expected rainfall with this system. It's slow moving, could produce plenty of rain showers that could cause some flooding. So again, let's take a look at what's going on both in the Florida area as well as we head into the Georgia, South Carolina region. Both locations are going to be seeing at least a good amount of rainfall. And on top of that, that storm could be approaching our local area here, although we'll only see mainly remnants, and this still could push out to sea. It's several days away, but here's the path of it right now. It's heading off the coast of the Atlantic and then hooking back into the South Carolina area. But take a look at some of these rainfall totals: 13 inches, 6 inches, 11 inches, 8 to 9 inches of rainfall. This is a lot of rain only in the span of a few hours within 24 to 36 hours. So very, very active weather down there. But a live look at downtown Utica right now. We're quiet in Utica alone, but in Rome area, seeing some light rain. Still very humid out with dew points in the upper 60s. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. As a matter of fact, those rain showers have exited and now entered Herkimer County. These rain showers are not our concern. Our concern will be some more showers and storms arriving from the west that arrive later today. And some of them could produce maybe a severe storm or two. So again, make sure you have our Storm Tracker 2 weather app handy that you can download by scanning it right below me. It will send you warning alerts as well as nearby lightning strikes, heavy downpours. Great if you're out and about or if you're working outside to make sure you're not in a lightning prone area. Still, the main concerns being from hail as well as some strong, potentially damaging winds. But again, the main focus for rain showers today look to be in the late evening overnight. Then the rain diminishes as we head into tomorrow morning. A dry start to your Tuesday, potentially another round of light, spotty rain overnight, right around midnight Wednesday morning, and then we'll dry out Wednesday afternoon. But the good news is following today, we'll see a lot less humidity in the air. Comfortable levels of humidity Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Great outdoor weather across the board. But again, on our Skycast, here are those rain showers we're mentioning right now, around noontime pushing through. These not too concerning. But if sunshine moves in following these these storms here could have some fuel to tap into, and these, again, could produce some stronger, potentially severe wind gusts. Then following these showers and storms, severe weather risk is diminished by the overnight hours. And then tomorrow, patchy fog, clouds moving in, then will give way to maybe some light rain overnight. And so your 7-day forecast, we've got rain showers in the forecast for this evening, then sunshine moving in as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and potentially a part of Friday.
With Kristen Copeland.
We start tonight tracking showers and storms. A tornado hit Buffalo this afternoon, and parts of our region saw severe weather as well. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis is in the Weather Center with what we can expect.
Yeah, going forward, things are looking relatively quiet, but we are keeping an eye on things because this cold front has not moved in yet, and it's still several miles away, actually, across the North Country. And this is producing a few thunderstorms and some downpours. One in our area is moving down the Mohawk Valley. This is not severe, but it is producing some locally heavy rain. We did get some damage reports today, mainly along the Route 20 corridor with some wind damage in Madison County. In fact, take a look at this video. This was from Jenna in Hubbardsville with that severe storm that came through, producing some damaging winds. As we go forward, again, it is possible we could see a few pop-up showers and storms late this evening and into early tonight. That cold front arrives overnight, and it's going to bring a big drop in the humidity. It's also going to remove our chances for getting any severe storms here for most of the week. In fact, the weather pattern looking generally wet as we head into the weekend. This evening, temperatures in the upper 70s, a few scattered storms around. We are tracking a big drop in the humidity, along with Tropical Storm Debbie and where she's headed, and that's coming up. Kristen, back to you.
A naked man from Rome is accused of breaking.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are continuing to keep an eye on the radar this evening. While things are looking relatively quiet, the cold front will be dropping in tonight, and that could spark off a shower or a thunderstorm. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, one lone shower popping up, moving into the Mohawk Valley right over German Flats, heading to the east. This is showing signs of weakening. We also have more showers and storms in the Binghamton area. Again, these are moving to the south and east, producing some locally heavy rain in southern Shenango and southern Otsego County. Bigger picture shows the cold front still to the north. In fact, you've got to go north of New York State on the other side of the lake into southern Canada. These thunderstorms here indicate the leading edge of that cooler air that will be rolling in. So until that arrives, it's going to stay humid, at least for a few more hours. Live look in Cooperstown, 75 degrees. Again, it's still very humid out, the dew point 68. Again, that cold front will be dropping in tonight. Skywatchers checking in with temperatures in the 80s. Whitesboro, 80 degrees, as well as Barneveld and New Hartford. Helen and Cassville, 74s. Pretty strong storms in her area earlier this afternoon. Old Forge, 72. Markham, Milford, 74, and Worcester with 78. Again, tracking this cold front dropping in from the north tonight. We're also watching Tropical Storm Debbie that is in the southeast. This storm is expected to stall in this area, so it's not going to affect our weather for the short term, but it might by the end of the week. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. That cold front arrives, and again, this could still spark off a shower or storm overnight. I'm not expecting any of these to be really strong, but again, some downpours are still possible here. Tomorrow morning, you're going to notice a change in the air. It's going to feel a lot less humid and much cooler, too. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s. You could see a few showers here late in the day. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. The weather looks very comfortable heading into Wednesday. We drop down into the 50s early Wednesday morning, and then we should see high temperatures in the 70s in the afternoon. Again, Tropical Storm Debbie, 50-mile-an-hour winds. The projection is taking this into the northeast by the weekend. Again, there's a very large swath of uncertainty as to where exactly this goes, but again, it is possible that this could bring us some rainfall either Friday, Saturday, and or Sunday. Again, we'll keep an eye on that and keep you posted. Scattered storms tonight, low of 62. Tomorrow, cloudy, a couple of showers around, not a washout though. 74, much cooler. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Lovely Wednesday and Thursday. Comfortable, low humidity, temperatures in the upper 70s. We're into the 50s at night, so you can give the air conditioner a break. Friday, scattered showers, 75. Again, tracking Debbie may be bringing us some rain on Saturday. Temperatures remain in the 70s Sunday and Monday. We'll be right back.
The news with Ben Kinney.
Good evening, everyone. Jason is off tonight. We'll get to those stories in a moment. But first, a flash flood warning in effect for part of our area tonight. Those heavy rains moving out. They're still over the area. We're also hearing of some damage from earlier this evening in parts of Madison County. So let's not waste any more time. Let's head right over to the Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. What can you tell us, Bill?
Yeah, we're continuing to track some locally heavy rainfall. A flash flood warning for southern Oneida County. Until 11:30, a flood advisory in effect for southern Herkimer County. The bottom line is, in these areas, we are expecting the possibility of ponding on the roadways. We've been seeing some issues, especially in Sequoia, Clinton. Some very heavy rainfall is taking place here. And the current scene on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar is showing that the rain is moving out. But again, it does take some time between when the rain falls and when the problems arise. And so, again, issues will continue as we head into the next couple of hours. And again, our focus is going to be on the rain as it continues to move out of our area, but also still causing some problems in Herkimer County. Again, some thunder and lightning associated with this as well. We're thinking about 2 to 3 inches of rain has fallen in some of these areas underneath that flash flood warning. Take a look at this video. This was from earlier today. Hubbardsville, some of those storms producing some locally heavy rain along with some wind. Now, tonight these storms come to an end. We're going to see a drop in the humidity and things will improve weather-wise. But we're also keeping a close eye on the remnants of what was once Hurricane Debbie. A look at the forecast coming up. Ben, back over to you.
Bill, thank you very much. Parts of Madison County took the brunt of the damage earlier tonight. These pictures are from the village of Hamilton. Multiple trees reported to be down around the village and around Madison County, including on the campus of Colgate. A Rome business celebrated 40 years in the community by giving back. Chris Tech donating $5,000 and 2 refrigerators to the Salvation Army of Rome. The company is also collecting food and clothing for the victims of last month's tornado. They can be dropped off at the company's headquarters at 80 Otis Drive in the Griffiths Industrial Park until August 9th. A naked man from Rome.
Summer, never get caught on the course in bad weather. Get severe weather alerts right to your phone with the WKTV Storm Tracker weather app, the only weather app on your phone powered locally by the WKTV Storm Tracker 2 team. When you're on the go, stay in the know.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're continuing to track locally heavy rainfall taking place across central New York. A flash flood warning remains in effect for southern Oneida County. We were experiencing some localized issues with ponding on the roads, especially in areas like Sequoia and Clinton. The flash flood warning is in effect until 11:30. There's a flash flood a flood advisory for southern Herkimer County in effect until 1 o'clock in the morning. Again, some ponding on roadways is possible. Areas like Litchfield, Cedarville, these areas have been getting quite a bit of rain here. Unofficial reports about 2 to 3 inches of rain. And we do have more showers to the west, so we're not quite done with this, but we're done with the worst of it. And we do expect a cold front to roll through tonight, and that will bring a big drop in the humidity. Live looking downtown Utica, temperature of 69 degrees. There's still lots and lots of humidity in place. The dew point in Rome measured at 70. So where's the cold front? Well, it's to the north. That's going to be dropping in overnight, and that will drop the humidity. So you look at the radar and satellite image. Again, the cold front slowly marching in from the north. Again, that will be arriving here tonight. And that also lingers into tomorrow. It's going to bring us more showers here for Tuesday. We're also watching the leftovers of what was once Hurricane Debbie in the southeast. Lots of major flooding and some wind damage. Actually, several tornado warnings throughout the course of the day. Even in Savannah, Georgia, under a tornado warning earlier this afternoon. This weather system is going to sit in the Carolinas for the next several days. Our local weather, again, tracking a couple of showers overnight. Temperatures drop into the low 60s. Tomorrow looks like a much cooler day, and we're looking at dry weather. Mostly cloudy skies, at least early on. We could see a few showers in the afternoon. High temperatures climb into the low to mid 70s. Tomorrow night, skies clear out, and we're cool. Lots of places drop into the low 50s. On Wednesday, sunshine, beautiful day, temperatures in the 70s. The latest on Tropical Storm Debbie, it's expected to hang out in the Carolinas over the next 48 hours. And then the jet stream is going to carry this to the north and up the east coast. And there's a lot of uncertainty as to where this is going to track towards the weekend. Right now, the consensus keeps the heaviest rain just to our south and east. But should that trend any further north, we would be under the heavy rain over the weekend. Scattered storms tonight, low 62. Tomorrow, showers around in the afternoon. Otherwise, a cooler day. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. A couple of nice days. Overnight lows will be in the 50s, so the air conditioner can get a break. And then again, we're tracking the possibility of some rain over the weekend. Temperatures in the 70s.
All righty. So that rain calming down, and it was definitely humid today. Definitely a lot of rain, too.
Finally, some changes ahead.
Yeah, thankfully. All right, thank you very much, Bill. Coming up next.
The news with Ben Kinney.
Good evening, everyone. Jason's off tonight. We'll get to those stories in a moment. But first, flash flood warning still in effect for a part of our area tonight after some heavy rains. We're also hearing of wind damage from earlier this evening in Madison County. Let's head right over to the Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis has more.
Yeah, the concern tonight continues to be some flooding that is ongoing across parts of southern Oneida County and southern Herkimer County. Some areas picked up about 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, and that water has come down so quickly that it's ended up in places where it doesn't belong. Specific areas that have been hit hardest include Secoit, Clinton, Paris. That flash flood warning continues for another half hour. That expires at 11:30. That flood advisory for southern Herkimer County goes until 1 o'clock in the morning. Again, just if you are heading out tonight, just be careful. We are seeing some minor issues here across the area. We also saw some stronger storms from earlier today. This was in Hubbardsville. Straight line wind damage being reported in Madison and southern Oneida County, along with some small hail. Storms come to an end tonight. Overnight lows in the low 60s. We're tracking a big drop in the humidity and much cooler weather as we head throughout the week. I also have the latest on where Tropical Storm Debbie is headed, and that's coming up. And back to you.
Bill, thank you very much. And as Bill mentioned, parts of Madison County taking the brunt of the damage tonight. These pictures are from the village of Hamilton. Multiple trees down in the village, including on parts of the Colgate campus. A Rome business celebrated 40 years in the community by giving back. Christech donated $5,000 and 2 refrigerators to the Salvation Army of Rome. The company is also collecting food and clothing for victims of last month's tornado. Those donations can be dropped off to the company's headquarters at 80 Otis Drive in the Griffiths Industrial Park until August 9th. A naked man from Rome is accused.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We continue to track rain moving across central New York, and it is still falling steady just to our west. This is moving south and east. That flash flood warning continues for southern Oneida County for about the next 12 minutes or so. A flood advisory for southern Herkimer County. Let's take a look at Doppler estimated rainfall. In this yellow color you see here, that's the estimate of about 2 to 3 inches of rain. And judging by some local reports here, that's pretty close. And that was what was creating some issues in parts of our area, specific spots, Secoit, Clinton, just south of New Hartford. And also just take a look at this narrow zone. These storms are moving over the same spot over and over again. That's why this localized spot dealing with some flooding issues. And then outside of that band of heavy rain, much lower totals. Looking downtown Utica, a temperature of 69 degrees. It's still very humid out, but there is an end in sight. The cold front is just to the north. It's between Rome and Watertown, and this will be dropping south. We are going to notice a drop in the humidity tonight. You will really notice it first thing tomorrow morning. Radar and satellite image again showing that cold front dropping in from the north. That will push the wet weather to the south, and we'll see a nice day tomorrow. We're also keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Debbie, making landfall earlier today and producing a lot of heavy rain and multiple tornado warnings in Georgia and coastal South Carolina. This system's going to stay in the southeast for the next couple of days, but then it will start to move to the north. Locally, our weather, again, quiets down tonight. Temperatures drop down into the low 60s. Tomorrow, we're looking at a generally nice day. I think there's the chance for a few showers as we head into tomorrow afternoon as the cold front stalls just to our south. We could see a few sprinkles here, but again, most of the day looks pretty nice and mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow night, the weather looks dry. It will clear out, and that's going to allow for temperatures to fall into the low 50s. So a very comfortable night ahead. Sunshine is expected as we head into Wednesday. Tropical Storm Debbie expected to hang out in the Carolinas for the next 2 to 3 days, and then the winds carry this storm to the north and east. And the extended outlook puts this system into the northeast on Saturday. There's a big question mark as to how close it will be to our area and whether or not we'll be dealing with heavy rain from this or if that's going to be passing to our south and east. We'll keep you posted. Storms come to an end tonight, low of 62. Tomorrow, cloudy, chance of a shower in the afternoon, 74. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Pretty comfortable week ahead. Temperatures in the 70s. Wednesday and Thursday look dry. And then our weekend weather depends on the track of Debbie. And again, right now, it could give us some locally heavy rain. We'll keep you posted.
All right, well, not what we need. Any more rain. A lot of rain today. And we're starting in that gradual decline towards fall.
Starting.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.